Hello everyone and welcome to So Many Games Still at a Time. My name is Joachim and I am super excited because we're going to be unboxing Mosaic, the Colossus edition. Now, I know this has been out for a while already, but I don't care. I'm going to do an unboxing anyway because I just want to do it. So you can see this is pretty big already. It was really well wrapped, packaged. You can see it here with the corner stuff and this side as well. So I really had to cut it a lot to open it up. There was a slight damage on the outside of the box, but the actual box seems to be pretty well isolated, so that's cool. So I'm gonna take this bad boy out and then open it. And also, this is not the only thing. There's also this. Ha! All right, so I'll get right back to you. Okay, so here we are again. Mosaic, A Story of Civilization by Glenn Drover, Forbidden Games, and the Colossus edition. So let's see what it looks like on the sides, because this boy is heavy. All right, so I'll go from left to right. There you go. That looks nice. Other side. That's really up close. Okay, other side. Basically the sides are all the same, so no need to show the other sides. Let's take a look at the bottom of the box. The back of the box anyway, not the bottom, the back. So, civilization building game with everything that you expect from one. All the stuff, of course. It looks really nice. And also the minis and everything else that's in there. 120 minutes playtime, which apparently doesn't seem to be 100% correct, as usual. 1 to 6 players. Complexity is only 3 puzzle pieces out of 5. Strategy 5 pieces, 14 plus. All right. Okay, so let's flip it back over. And I'll take this plastic off and then let's see what's inside. Of course, now the question is there going to be art on the inside or not? So let's take a look. I think there will be, because with something called the Colossus edition and everything, there should be, although I'm not sure. No, there's not actually. Too bad. Too bad. All right, I'm gonna move this like this so I can still use it for the rulebook and other stuff potentially. And here we have the rulebook, but there's this bunch of, okay, I'll talk about that later. First of all, let's go over the rulebook, shall we? So, seems a bit small in comparison to the box, but it's okay. So the contents of everything. Okay. All the stuff, the 9 pillars, the currencies, the setup. I've already watched several videos on how to play, so after this I'm hoping to get it to the table ASAP. That is my hope. All the different actions you can do: military, government, Golden Age Civilization achievement tiles, okay, empire scoring cards, game end, the appendix. Quite a lot here as well. Yeah. And then strategy suggestions. That's kind of nice. Okay. And then an overview of the actions. Okay, cool. And then we have this one. Is it exactly the same? Question mark. It seems to be exactly the same. I don't know if there's a reason. It seems to be exactly the same, yeah. It is exactly the same. I have 2 rule books, I guess. Maybe it's something that I missed. No, it is true, There are 2 rule books, yeah, because I read it online that the basic retail edition has only 1, and this one has 2 rule books. And then we have the Solar Rules, Herodotus. Apparently it's supposed to be really good, but I have only heard 1 person talk about it, so I don't know if that person's going to end up being correct, but I hope that person is. I'm not going to name drop because I don't remember the name, but there is a lot of pages here, so be curious to see how it works and different difficulties, which is always nice. All right, that was a weird noise coming from the bathroom, but okay. I don't know if you guys heard, but whatever. And then we have the reference cards. Also, apparently, there's 3 here, but then in the retail edition, there's 1. I mean, you can go to BGG and then there's a couple of topics talking about the differences between both editions. For example, apparently a lot of these Punchboards are useless because you don't use them. But I don't know which ones, to be honest. I forgot about that. But I guess these ones are still fine. You have the Golden Ages. You have the Wonders. Okay. These are really thick, by the way. These are quite thick. Yeah. Quite thick. Alright, the achievements. Okay. Like, for example, these I'm not going to use because I have the minis, right? But of course I'll show it to you anyway. But then I always keep these anyway because I do like to design games at times. Really, how many did you publish? Well, 0, but you know, a hobby is a hobby. So I think I will use it for that then. So at least that way it gets a little bit used as well. Can always find use for something, right? And same thing with these resources. They're also useless because we have the tokens that you will see later. So I can understand why people are a bit dismayed that this is all in the box because it's a waste of production. But on the other hand, I'm sure like this is also just coins. But on the other hand, you know, I'm sure they have their reasons for costs and so on. But then of course there's a whole nature debate that I'm not going to go into. So here are the tokens that go on the map. Now, I've already read, normally you're supposed to put these, or at least these ones, face down. And then some of them are X's, some of them are actually goods. And then the X's you remove. But it's way better to put all of the tokens in a bag and then just draw one by one. And if it's an X, you just throw it away, go to the next square, and so on. Same, so you can see there's tons of X's. So that, yeah, these are the governments, double-sided of course, and these are the military units of the different colors and factions, which also become useless at this point because of the standees, the miniatures itself, sorry. But once again, this stuff you can easily use for game design if you like to design or other stuff, whatever. Okay, here, I think this population, is it? I'm not sure. And then the wonders that you also don't use. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that you just don't use. All right, this is the board. I'm gonna set it up at the end. Normally I would set it up and then put the box on top and then keep going, but this box is really heavy, so I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna put it on the side and I'll open it up later after I've gone through the whole box. All right, then we have the score sheet. That's kind of silly. No, not the score sheet. The score sheet is good, but it's silly that it's not in the retail version. The retail version comes without a score sheet. Apparently they did upload it to BGG so you can download it, but you know, it's a bit of a strange thing to cut costs on, I would say. Anyway, here then we have the double layered boards, as you can see. All right. On the back there's nothing. So there's the different colors, as you can see. You also have the different art. Okay. But aside from that, there's no difference whatsoever. These colors also relate to the colors of the regions of the board, but once again, it doesn't mean anything. Even though you're a Gaul, you could start in Arabia or whatever, Saudi Arabia, or you can in Africa or whatever, Egypt, Greece. If you're Greece, you can start all the way in Russia or whatever. It doesn't matter, you know, it's just a color. Here we have the scoreboard. Now the retail version also doesn't have a scoreboard, but then people say it doesn't really matter, to be honest. I've heard. So they do have this, I think, I'm not sure, but on the other hand, they say these cards, they tend to just put them open, especially in the beginning, because you don't know what the cards all do. So you don't want them in a stack. You just want them open so people can look at it at any time. All right, so I guess I'll do these first. Open it. These are the leaders. These are nice cards. They're, yeah, quite nice cards. Although I don't know if I have sleeves that match this, but okay. You have the artists, the engineer. So this is the starting production, and then this is the ability you have throughout the game, and they also have their pillar sign. Farmer, the general, the magistrate, the merchant, philosopher, priestess, scribe, and the artist again. So those are the leaders. Then here we have the trays. Of course, everything goes in there. Now the question is there any way to know what goes where? Maybe something on the side of the box. I am checking right now. There is nothing on the side of the box to show you, which of course opens up the possibility for a reboxing. But okay, these two can just go out because this has, as you can see, absolutely no sign to see what goes there. I guess it's just going to end up being this stuff, I know, but yeah, no. Sometimes games would put inside like a little indentation about what's supposed to go there or whatever. Okay, I'll put this here and open this later. All right, so this is a first player marker, and I have to say it's quite the piece. Just look at it. Yes, exactly. It is that thick. This is my hand. Oh, it is quite big, quite chunky. You know, I could easily give this to my kids and they won't be able to destroy it. I'm not going to, but she fits in very nicely here. There we go. So let's take all these bags out and open them one by one. This one here first. So this is the knowledge, if I'm not mistaken, is it? Or ideas? I'm not sure. Here we go. The scrolls at the moment, but they're not called scrolls, but yeah. Also nice and chunky. Of course, this will end up going most likely in one of these things, because there is a space here, but then it might also be for cards. Who knows? To figure that out later. These are just cubes. I'll show you anyway, but it's like I said, they're just cubes and silica gel. So nothing too special about that. Doesn't have to be, you know, but I'm just letting you know. Tiny cubes. They're not super tiny, but they're small. Okay, here are the first couple of minis. Put them here, show you one by one. Actually, for this should have used the other camera, because the other camera actually zooms in and adjusts. This GoPro does not adjust at all. But it has a wider frame, which is why I used it. So I guess I'll put it here for now. So these are the wonders, basically. It's funny, I just played Magna Roma not long ago, so many of these wonders are the same. So, yeah, it's kind of funny. Of course, not all of them, like the Egyptian ones, like the Sphinx is obviously not in Magna Roma. But yeah. The sculpts are okay, you know. It doesn't have a super amount of detail, but it's definitely better than Magna Roma. I have to stop comparing the two because they're absolutely nothing alike. But yeah, there's some nice details in here. Not crazy amount, but good enough so that a paint job will should make it shine well enough. If it isn't Stonehenge. Alright, so I'll leave these here for now. And this one. Food, so much food. Alright. Then we have stone, so much stone as well. There we go. All seems like pretty good quality. Maybe this is knowledge because they're books. Or maybe these are the value of 5 and the other ones are 1. Okay. And here we have stone values of 5. Well, I gotta say I'm not a fan of what it looks like. I mean, it's okay, but the blue, I don't get it. I don't get why it's blue. But, you know, whatever. It's not gonna limit my enjoyment of the game. It's just a bit weird to me, that's all. And the fish. Oops. Here's the fish. Okay. Then we have a bunch of cards that I'm all going to open. And then we're going to take a look at them. And I'm going to move this away a bit so I can sit down. So my back doesn't completely die. Okay, so let's start with the taxes and tariffs. So I'm not going to talk too much about what it says on the cards, just pure art. So the Empire scoring cards, they will all look the same. And taxes and tariffs, I guess, all look the same as well. So there's not much to see here. Ah, no, the tariffs look the same. And of course, the taxes look the same. All right, cool, done. Then we have population, once again, with an Empire scoring card. And then these all look the same. Yeah, just people standing there together. Keep this for last. We have the Herobotus. Herobotus is locations. So art-wise, there's not much difference. It just says where he is, I guess, and he does stuff there or whatever. Here are his action cards. Yeah, building, military technology. Seems simple enough though, what he's doing. Yeah, doesn't seem to be too complicated. Then we have the build cards. This should be more interesting, right? Farm town, a bunch of farm towns. Manufactory town. Architectural city. Capital city. Oh, but it's the same arts. Port city. A project then, the aqueduct, the civic center, the forum, the granaries, hospital, public baths, quarries, the roads, city walls, and the research city. Okay, good enough, good enough. And then with the technology, there's a bunch of these, so I'll just do half first. Irrigation, the legal code, the White House. Okay, I'm not going to say everything, I'm just going to go through the art, okay? If you don't like it, just skip to the next phase. I just like looking at the art of cards, you know. And the art here is pretty good, it's pretty nice. Yeah. And they do say through some playthroughs that I've read about that technology cards are the cards that are mostly used, taken by people, because they're so easy to play as well. So I guess that's also why there's so many cards in the game, is what someone said. I'm literally quoting them. But I do feel because people are taking these cards so often that the other decks tend to be underutilized, which leads to the Empire scoring cards not coming out as often as they want in some games, but other people say, no, that's not true. So I guess it depends on the type of game you're playing, what people are going for, how aggressive they are, and so on. I think, I'm not sure, I'm just guessing here, but it could be like Terraforming Mars, where you can play a super long game if people are not going for the goals and just, you know, enjoying building out their tableau and everything. Then it can be like a 3-4 hour game easy. But if you play with people who want to win and go for it, they can be like an hour and a half, maybe less. When they're playing super efficient, then it can be like a huge change in time. But when I play Terraforming Mars, it is a 3-hour game. Tends to be. All right. Okay, so these are all the cards. Let's go back to the box. I'm going to put these in the box for now. Okay, so maybe some of you were shouting at the screen, or they noticed that I hadn't opened the coins. I took them out and then forgot to show them. So that's a shame. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now there's a bunch of them here. Let's start with the tiny ones first. They all look very nice. Here we go. The weight is good. The weight is nice. Yeah. I kind of want a pouch for this. Like you know, Magna Roma is the last game that I played and unboxed, so that's why I'm comparing it for some reason. I don't know why. But that has a really nice pouch, like really nice pouch. But anyway, okay, here, really cool. I so love the art on it. Yeah, really nice. We have these. Cool. I like it when they add like the wash so it looks more used. Like Uthia did that as well. It doesn't always have to be like super perfect shiny because it doesn't. I mean, this is still shiny, don't get me wrong, but at least it looks a little bit used. These ones look more used. So I heard the way they do it is they have like a bunch of people in a warehouse and they just handle the coins all day long, so it looks worn. That's of course a joke. There's no way they did that. It's just a process thing. Nice. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. I like these coins a lot. Alright, so I'm going to take this out to reveal the player pieces of everyone, basically. So, okay, I'm supposed to do this unboxing. I mean, I do my unboxings always as completely as possible, so I am going to show every color. Even though there's always a part of me that says, let's just do one, that'll be enough. But you know, some people like yellow, some people like purple. Maybe they want to see, right? So, let's see. Definitely going to paint these though, because this would be an eyesore. So we have this one. Okay, so I'm looking for the ones that are different. This as well. And we have this and this. Is that all? Yeah, it does look like these are the different types. Yeah, can't see anything else. That's yeah. So these are all the buildings. Okay. So I guess they just go in here loose. There we go. Then there's the little guys. There we go. And a cavalry. It's kind of ironic that the cavalry is smaller than the population guys. Is it like children or what? Go son, go fight for us. Yes, daddy. Alright. And then we also have the foot soldiers, right? Or is this the foot soldier? Then the cavalry is really small in comparison. I guess so. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, those are all the units. Yeah. So we have the tiny cavalry. We have the footman. And we have the worker. Alright, cool. That's done. Now I'm wondering if the sculpt is different for red, for example. Is it the same military units or is it different ones? The population people are the same. So what about the warriors? Trying to find one here. I think these are different, no? Yeah, these are definitely different. These are the Romans. Yeah. So that is cool. That is cool. But the cavalry is still tiny though. Tiny, tiny people. Alright, so we have this one. But like I said, when you paint them, it's gonna look a lot different. Okay. So What am I missing? This one. There we go. All right, put that back in. Then we have black. You don't see that too often though. As a player color, black. It's going to be annoying if I prime it in black. It's going to be more difficult to see where, or maybe I'll just prime these ones in white then. Just so I make it easier for myself to notice the difference. Come on, where is the farm? It's also difficult to see in the shadow. Okay, here. All right, and then the army pieces, which is arguably more interesting because they seem to be different from faction to faction, and they are again. Because this is the cavalry. The workers are always the same. All right, so that is something that we know now. Be nice if I would see a warrior, but all I see is workers. Ah, here. All right. So these are the two. Nice. This is a Greek or what? It looks like Sparta. Okay, cool. And it's time for blue. I'm gonna stop showing the buildings. Okay, I'm sorry. I know it's gonna be like show it for every color, but in the end, it's not really worth it. I will just show you very quickly, like, you know, this one, stuff like this. This is what it's gonna look like. Okay, that's the brightness of the buildings. The military units I'll still show because they're very, very different. And then that is more worth it. Cavalry also tends to get stuck in the bag. So is this... is one of these a fighter? No, there's 3 workers. Oh, goodness. These fighters do like to hide though. Not very brave. They're all workers. Oh, here. Okay. So the cavalry and the fighter. There we go. That's blue for you. And then we have green. So a quick showing of the buildings. There you go, immediately 3 types. All right, and then the units. Can I see a fighter? Oh wait, they also have the catapults. Oh, I didn't even notice them in the other ones, to be honest. That's how well it was hidden, I guess. So I'm sure the other ones have catapults too. Okay. Okay, cool. Cover, and then purple. The buildings. Here's 3 different ones for purple, and then here. But I can say that the catapults are all the same for each faction, so at least you didn't miss out on much, except maybe the fact that the color is a little bit different, but yeah. And then these 2. Alright, cool. They're not special, the miniatures, these ones, but they're functional, you know, so that's good enough. Alright, so now I'm going to clean up a little bit and then open the board, and there's still another package we have to open, remember? As you see here, this is the board. There's a little bit of shadow from the box here, but yeah, it is pretty huge. If I'm going to play this solo, my board will be here, and there's supposed to be cards on the side, isn't it? So yeah, it's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna need the dual camera setup to record this stuff for sure. Yeah, but it looks cool though. I think it's gonna look really nice once I start playing. Okay, well, you've seen the board. There's nothing on the back. So let's open the last package and then we're done. Okay, so this is the second package, and as you can see, they are the XL boards, wrapped nicely in a lot of bubble wrap and some corner protection as well. So I'm gonna take all of this off and then let's take a look at it. Okay, so this is what it looks like coming out. So there's a lot of plastic, so I'm gonna take that off first. Okay, so this is what they look like, and here we have the dials. Now I've heard mixed reactions about the dials. Is there anything on the back, by the way? No. This isn't, it's not flimsy, but it's not strong either, you know? It's like, yeah, it's a little bit weaker than what I would regularly expect, to be honest. But anyway, so these are the dials. They're very, very loose. Very easy to turn. Is it too easy? I don't know. But it'll take up quite a bit of space on the table. It is almost a little bit more than half the. Well, I'll put the after this. After I've gone through all of them, I will show you the size compared to the board. Okay. All right, so we do have a lot of stuff here, which is nice. It'll all slot in. I think it'll look really nice, but I'm pretty sure I'm only going to use this solo because I'm going to need a huge table to use these boards with more people. They do look nice though, don't they? Actually, let's compare it with a regular board. Let me just quickly take one. The yellow one, which is Egypt. This is the basic one. You see the difference? So pretty big difference, huh? Wow. Yeah, crazy difference. Okay, so next one. For all the green players out there, or the Gaul fans. And then we have Greece. There's also the question, of course, does this fit into the Colossus or not? I'll check that too. And then finally we have Rome. I really like the red, the burgundy. It's really nice. All right, now let's take out the big bad box and see if it fits in there or not. It does technically, but if you put it in, there's going to be lift for sure. And of course, you'd have to then, I imagine, put it like this, so the dials kind of protected like that, and then stack them like this. All right. Well, I will include it in my reboxing and see how I'm gonna make it work. All right. So this was the unboxing of well, it's not really that special because you already know Mosaic. I'm gonna definitely have videos about this. I'm so excited. And yeah, thank you very much for joining. Please do think about subscribing, pressing the bell, and so on. There should be several videos every week if things go as planned. But then again, so many games for little time, you never know. And yeah, I'll be happy to have you all. All right, that's it. Thank you very much for joining, and I'll see you next time. My name was Joachim, always will be, and so many games for little time. See you next time. Bye-bye.